Hi, this is Gayle Schoen, and I am the author of the Upper Hands Piano series. Here is book 1, and I wanted to talk today in this video about how to find major triads, minor triads, diminished, augmented, and suspended triads. A triad is 3 notes that sound good together. You can't play just any 3 notes and call it a chord. I'm going to show you some ways to figure out these chords using the book, and also, if you don't have the book, how to find these chords. In the very back page of Upper Hands Piano Book 1 is a pentascale chart, and the pentascales are the first 5 notes of a major scale. If you've never learned what a scale is, don't even worry about it. It's all explained in Upper Hands Piano Book 1, but if you don't have the book, then you'll see in a little while how to figure out these 3-note chords, even if you don't know what a pentascale is, even if you don't have the books at all. But if you do have the books, it makes it easy because in the back page here it makes it very visual. So let's start with the key of E. The pentascale, the first 5 notes of the scale are E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B. So I'm going to play those. Here is an E pentascale. Now to find the E major chord or triad, 3-note chord, you're going to play the first, the third, and the 5th note of that pentascale. And that is an E major triad or an E major chord. Okay, so let's take a look at F sharp. That's kind of a tricky one. It says F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B, and C sharp. F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B, and C sharp. Okay, so if I took the first, the third, and the 5th note of that pentascale, that is an F sharp major chord. Another way that I make it visual for you is in exercise number 1 that you can find back here on appendix page 1. If you were playing Upper Hands Piano Book 1, if you're going through it, I introduce it here on page 7. We talk about pentascales, and then throughout the rest of the book you are going to be playing these exercises. We've got exercise 1, 2, 3, 4, and lots of chord exercises in here as well. So hopefully if you have the book that you are working through the exercises while you are playing the songs in the book, and the songs are going to reinforce what you learn in the exercises. So in exercise number 1, we take each of the 12 keys, we go up the pentascale, down the pentascale, and then we skip, and we end up on the major chords. So let's try it in A. A, B, C sharp, D, E are the notes of the pentascale. So the exercise number 1 goes like this. And then we play the root, and we skip, then skip back down. And then we end with the A major triad. So I'm going to just pick B flat randomly. Now, to figure out how to play a B flat major triad, you start with whatever note you want to start with, and then you're going to count up 1, 2, 3, 4 half steps, and then you're going to count up another 3. 1, 2, 3. So a half step means that there's no notes in between. So from here to here is a half step, here to here is a half step, here to here, here to here, here to here. So if I start on B flat, I'm not going to count the B flat, I'm going to start on the one above it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. And that creates a B flat major triad, or a B flat major chord. That same formula will work for any note. So now let's pick G. I'm going to count up 1, 2, 3, 4 half steps, and then 1, 2, 3. And that is a G major. Let's try it in E now. Start on E, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so the formula for a major triad is 1, 2, 3, 4 half steps, 1, 2, 3 half steps. 4 between the root and the middle note, or the third. We call it the third because it's the 3rd note of the scale, or the pentascale. And then This is called the fifth because it's the fifth note, 3, 4, 5, fifth note of the scale or the pentascale. So between the third and the fifth, there's 1, 2, 3 half steps. Okay, let's try it on B. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that is a major triad. Now, if we want to find a minor triad, we can take that major triad by counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. To make it minor, the middle note comes down 1 half step, and down is always to the left. So you will hear that very distinctive minor sound. It's kind of dark or sad sounding. Now here's the interesting thing, is that when you play the minor chord, then the formula is reversed from the major. So the major formula was 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. But when we go to the minor, it makes sense that it is reversed. It now becomes 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can either find the major triad and then lower the middle 1 half a step, or you can try just using the formula for the minor triad, which is 3 half steps between the root and the third, and then 4 half steps between the third and the fifth. So let's try finding just a minor triad on its own. Let's try it from A. So we know the formula is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So A, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's an A minor chord. Let's try it in one more key. Let's try F. Here's F. I'm going to come up 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. So, tell me, is this a minor triad or a major triad? If you guessed minor triad, that's correct, because we did 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go to our D flat minor triad. Here's a D flat, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, if I would like to make this D flat minor triad into a diminished triad, then all we have to do is take this top note and lower that 1 half a step. So let's talk a little bit about notation. For a major triad, you might see, let's say if it was in C, and we had a C major triad, it would be notated in your music as C, M-A-J, or just C. If it's minor, then it's going to be C with a lowercase m, or sometimes it's going to be C, M-I-N. If we're going to do a diminished, it's either going to be a C, D-I-M, or sometimes it looks like this. It's a C with a tiny circle just to the right and above the C. Diminish means make smaller, so it makes sense that diminish gets more compact. So let's talk again about that D flat diminished. So to make a major, we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. To make a minor, the middle one comes down a half a step, and we are now 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a minor. Now to make a diminished, we're going to take the top note and also lower that 1 half step to the left, and now we've got a new formula. The new formula is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that is diminished. The formula is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's come down here to B flat, and let's make a diminished chord out of B flat. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. There's a B flat diminished chord. Let's try it in G. Here's G, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. There's a G diminished. Let's go back to our major. Here's a B major. Remember, the formula for major is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. I hope you're writing this down. It's pretty hard to remember until you just start really using them, and in the Upper Hands piano book, we use all these different chords: major, minor, diminished, augmented. Suspended comes a little bit later in book 3, but I am including that one today because it's another triad, it's another 3-note chord. So you will be able to play these better and remember them better if you're playing them in songs and pieces. It's a little hard when we're just presenting it on its own, but anyway, we're getting you started, and then hopefully you'll be looking in music and practicing finding the major, minor, diminished, and the other chords that we're going to talk about. So the next chord is going to be an augmented chord, and this one, to tell that it's an augmented, you'll see in your music, let's say if we're talking about B, it will be a B, A, U, G, or you may have seen before where it's a B and then a little plus, and the little plus occurs to the right and a little bit higher than the letter. So from a major, to play an augmented, you raise the top note. So it's kind of like the opposite of a diminished. A diminished would be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. There's the B diminished. But to play a B augmented, the formula is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 4 and 4. So let's talk about those again. The formula for major, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. The formula for minor, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. The formula for diminished, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And the formula for augmented, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's try it in one more key. Let's try it in E flat. I'm going to build an augmented chord out of E flat. Remember, my formula is now 4 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now it sounds kind of a bit of a strange chord on its own, but you may have heard something like this in your music. So we started with a E flat major, went to an E flat augmented, and then went up to what we call an E flat 6 chord. We're going to talk about this in another video, but anyway, I just wanted you to hear that augmented chords are useful, and they do happen not only in popular music but also in classical music. So it's useful to know what all these chords are. Once you know the chords, you'll be able to identify them in your music, and then you will remember your music more easily, and you will just have a more clear picture of what's going on in your music. So it's definitely worthwhile to learn them. There's one more chord I'd like to talk about, and that's suspended chords. And as I said, these don't come until Upper Hands Piano Book 3, but I'd like to talk about them now because they're a 3-note chord. So let's go to F. So now I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So what chord am I playing here? If you guess that it's an F major triad, then you're correct. Now if we have no third at all, and instead we have this note, a fourth, that is called a suspended chord. It's called suspended because we have neither a major nor a minor chord. There's no third at all to tell us whether it's major or minor. So it's said to be sort of suspended, kind of airy, and it's not really a very strong chord that we can ground ourselves into. So we call it an F suspended. To find a suspended chord, we can think about the major, but instead of playing the third, we go up half a step to the right. Up is to the right, down is to the left, and that is an F suspended. F suspended is kind of an unstable chord, and it wants to resolve, or it wants to move to a major. So it gives you this sense of a chord that wants to resolve somewhere else or move somewhere else, and it goes to the major, almost always. After this chord, you're going to hear this chord. So let's try another suspended chord. Here's B flat, and that's a B flat major chord, but instead of playing this middle note or the third, I'm going to play the fourth. It's called the fourth because it's the fourth note of the scale, or the pentascale. So there's a B flat suspended, and it wants to move back to the B flat major. Let's do one more. A, there's an A major, but I'm going to move the middle one up a half a step, and that's an A suspended. So you may have heard that in some popular music as well, but it's in classical, it's really in all genres of music. Okay, so I hope this has made sense to you. Let's go over all of the chords one more time. In A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, A major, A minor, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, A diminished, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Back to the major, and now I'm going to raise my fifth, and this is an A. Okay, if you guessed augmented, you're correct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, A augmented. Okay, back to my major, and to find an A suspended, I'm going to take this middle note, or the third, and think about what I need to do to make it a suspended. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move the middle one up a half a step. Now I have no third, and that is an A suspended. Okay, so I hope you found this helpful. This is going to be part of my blog post, and it will be entitled How to Build Chords on the Piano. And you can find it at blog.upperhandspiano.com. Just do a search for this post and check out the blog and just see if there's anything else in there that you might find interesting. I try to provide my subscribers with information that is important and kind of basic to how to play the piano, and I also give away free sheet music every month. So follow us if you haven't already. Alright, thanks so much. Bye.